What's going on? Tectonic Edge here, playing some more Mono Green Tron, the Genie variant, and I'm re-recording this audio because, as Teacup Sasquatch pointed out to me, I did not have my microphone plugged in on the original recording and upload. Thank you to Teacup Sasquatch. Go ahead and you're going to start looking for a hand here. I'm going to be mulliganing pretty hard. Yep, I don't want to keep just the forest. I was tempted by the two Tron lands, but without search, you really want to dig with Tron. And, yeah, this is going to be the keeper. I actually pitched the map, keep the Ancient Stirrings in the Chromatic Sphere, because it's going to be our best dig. And we're going to be reliant pretty heavily on it. This is a weird game one, I'll tell you that. Also, you'll notice I'm not in my usual location. My roommate caught, or rather my roommate's dad caught COVID-19 and my roommate was around him. So I'm just giving him a bit of a berth for about a week and a half. Just make sure I don't catch it. He got tested, he's negative. His dad's having a mild reaction. Larry, hey, if you're watching the video, hope you're doing well. But yeah, Utopia Sprawl has the Verdant Catacombs, so I was thinking he may be splashing black. I was actually really afraid I was going to get Thoughtseize there for a second, but thankfully did not. He has the green-black, but I didn't really see any other black cards, so he could be splashing black for something, but it really plays like the Gruul variant. Going to pass to my turn, and we are going to draw Karn, Great Creator. Not really what we're looking for, but at least it's a threat if we do get there. And a low-cost threat, so it's not Karn Liberated. 7 drops, we have no hope to play if we don't get Tron. We're going to pass that. We're counting on, hopefully we're looking for an Ancient Stirrings. And our opponent, past his turn, did not play a second land, so that bodes very well for this game. It really was, I really thought I had lost. Hitting another Tron land is nice. And then the Ancient Stirrings. We don't get the third Tron land, but we do get an extra land. So we are working our way towards that Karn Great Creator. Play out the power plant. And our opponent is just, we both pretty much kept one land hand. So yeah, his was a 2-mana hand at least with that Utopia Sprawl. But it's a matter of who's going to find their lands first. He's going to play the Scavenging Ooze, so just to get a 2/2 body out, but he does not find the land. And if memory serves, I don't believe he finds the land in the rest of this, but that may be spoiler, so we're going to get our third land. He's going to get his 2/2. At this point, my thought is I'm going to run out Karn Great Creator and grab Ensnaring Bridge just to lock down the game and give us time because we have a low card count in hand. And he just needs I'm thinking he needs about one more card to go off here. And we get the Expedition map. That does change the plan, so I want to go ahead and get Tron. Maybe a little risky, but I do go ahead and just run out the Expedition map. And pass turn. And I do play the mine as well. I could have gone straight for Karn the Great Creator, but I don't think it really did me anything. Just because he would have swung 2 at it, taken it to 1. I would have gotten either a card in my hand, plus he could have another answer that I just didn't know about. And I'm going to get hit with a lightning bolt. That probably would have killed the Karn. That actually definitely would have killed the Karn. Yeah, I still would have gotten the Ensnaring Bridge, but it would have been tricky. He is still not getting any lands. So just going to swing in for a bit of damage, and he's chipping me down decently here. If I didn't have the Expedition map, I think plus with that lightning bolt, he'd be in a much better spot. He does get the Arbor Elf, which is mana ramp. It'd give him 4 mana next turn. So that was probably one of the cards he needed to go off. He did not get it. Till late, and another lightning bolt. Down to 10. Having Karn Liberated in hand is where this gets fun, though. I have a few options of what I can go for, but I'm going to go straight for the shutting him down with Worm Coil in hand. Get rid of that forest. He's going to have no mana. He's got to figure out a plan just based on what's left. We are going to give him the option. He's got 2 planeswalkers he can attack. We're going to plus it just to pretty much say it's pretty much forcing him to attack a Karn Liberated, but it is just using the mana to get something out on the board. I guess if he got Mountain Lightning Bolt, he could get rid of the Karn Great Creator, but I think the Karn Liberated is still the bigger threat. He's going to swing in at me. Probably a misplay here. I think he would have done better to take the Karn Liberated. But then again, it's hard knowing like I have 2 planeswalkers. He could just be going for his most damage. And I'm getting 2 creatures out here. Although I don't think I get the chance. I minus this and scoop. There it is. Didn't time that quite right. Going into game 2, I don't do too much in the sideboard. I pull out some of the bigger drops just because they're a little bit harder to play. Pull in the Thragtusk because those are a little bit easier to play. I'm really expecting Blood Moon or Land Destruction because that's what this deck does. I got very lucky there with him being on 1 mana that whole game. It was a very interesting, the 1 mana v 1 mana opening hands. Just who hit their lands first, it really came down to luck. There is a Tower, Chromatic Star, Ancient Stirrings. I'm going to mulligan that because it's not Tron. Power Plant's going to be a mulligan as well. Power Plant, Mine, and Ancient Stirrings, though, is going to be a keep because at least it is search. We're going to put the All Is Dust and the Thragtusk to the bottom. I thought about keeping the All Is Dust instead of the Karn, but in the end of the day, at least in this matchup, Karn is a threat that can win the game. All Is Dust just resets and lets us draw in. And it's a permanent, so if we get turn 3 All Is Dust into their turn 4 pillage, we don't really gain anything. We want turn 3 Karn and having presence on the board if they have a late turn 3 pillage or turn 4 pillage. Oblivion Stone's nice to see. We're going to run out the Chromatic Star, planning for that Ancient Stirrings, hoping we draw a Sylvan Scrying. How that goes. There's the double cross on the fingers, or the cross on the fingers. Yeah. He's going to play his second land. Passing too, so we didn't have a turn 2 play, which is decent, but it leads me to suspect he's probably kept a hand with Land Destruction. We're going to Ancient Stirrings, grabbing the Tower, and usually you want to play the Tower last, but at this point, I'd rather him not know we have the Power Plant. He can probably assume we have the Power Plant, but he doesn't know. So there's always a chance he will go for advantage instead of trying to shut down Tron, even if he has it. Still debating too whether this is, or was debating whether this was going to be a Blood Moon hand or a Land Destruction hand, because there's kind of you get out of them different ways. And that Land Destruction I think is worse because we can still build up with under a Blood Moon. And here's the Pillage. There goes the Tower. We at least get 2 cards or 2 draws to find an answer or another tower. Gonna crack for green, draw the Tower, which is nice. Gonna play the Power Plant though. The reason we do that is he's less likely to know on the Tower. If we play the Tower, there's more of an assumption that we have the Power Plant. And plus, if he gets the Power Plant, we're more likely to hit another Power Plant than we are to hit another Tower at this point. We're also hoping he doesn't have any more Land Destruction, but it's kind of It's likely he has it at any point in plus Blood Moon. There's the green-white fetch land I was talking about. I never saw any cards that indicated he'd have something to cast with white, so I think he just put whatever fetch lands he has. There's the other pillage. So we are back 2 lands at this point. Hoping for more Tron lands. And it's at this point where we get the Sylvan Scrying. Yep. So we can't really hide it at this point. We're going to play the tower, Sylvan Scrying, and just have to hope he's out of pillages or blood moons. Because we've got that turn 5 Karn at this point. But he hasn't played a threat yet, and it'll line up pretty well whatever he does play. Which, as we see, he definitely shows the option to give him the best chance of hitting another pillage. He's going to go for the, I bet you can call it at this point, Bloodbraid Elf. Yep, here it lands. So he gets that Cascade trigger. Always a chance he hits another pillage. I get lucky. It's a Utopia Sprawl. Of course, puts it on the untapped land, giving him a little bit of extra mana. That was one of the better hits for me, though, I meant. Had he hit a Blood Moon or a Pillage, I probably would have been out of this game at that point. And he plays a Cinder Vines. So it's going to be a little bit of chip damage. It can have some other effects. He's also at 2 cards in hand at this point, which is worth noting. It's likely he's not going to have too much more interaction. But yeah, we're going to get the power plant. Draw a second power plant, so we are hoping he'll choose to target power plant again instead of tower. But likely, once they've already hit 1 tower, even if they hit a power plant separate, the people who like hitting towers will hit towers. I think it's, for the most part, it's incorrect to go that route, just because if they have to tap the tower, or if we, Tron players, have to tap our tower for 1 mana, it limits the amount of mana we could have that next turn by 1. But I mean, if you've already destroyed 1 Tron land, you always want to go for the one you've already destroyed, because that's the one that's least likely for them to draw into. So we actually take a card from their hand, making it harder for them to remove the Karn. They're either going to have to commit a lot of resources to it, and there's really not, I mean, a 3/2 and a Cinder Vines aren't the biggest removal targets, plus targeting their lands. I mean, they have a lot of lands already. There's a difference between targeting a land turn 3 and targeting a land turn 6. Typically, the later it is, the less effective. He does get to refill his hand a little bit, gets another Bloodbraid into the Blood Moon. And at this point, I am glad I already have the Karn out, and that it's very unlikely he'll be able to remove it, because that's going to be needed to answer that. We get pretty lucky in this game, and just things line up just the right way to keep us in it. Because had that Blood Moon been hit off that first Bloodbraid, we wouldn't have had overresponse. I guess we would have been going for the turn 5, 6, 7 O-Stone, but we would have taken a lot more damage. We actually go for the turn 6 O-Stone here, or at least play it out. At this point, I'm reasoning with him having 1 card in hand. I'm at 9 life. It's better to just wipe the board than have to deal with that board state. I do lose my Karn, but that's just it. It's the price of clearing that board state. It's a 2 for 4. So he does go to combat, and I will take that opportunity to blow it. So even if he does have another Bloodblade, it's not going to do the most damage. War Seeking Hit would be a pillage, which, yeah, would suck, but at that point we're both out of cards, so neutral playing ground. If he doesn't get a pillage, though, I've got Ulamog. And he gets a god. And an Arbor Elf. I'm going to draw mine, and minor misplay on my part. I'll play the mine over the Sanctum. I should have played the Sanctum at that point, just because I can go get that second Thet. But I will go ahead and play the Chromatic Star and cast the Ulamog. Targeting their 2 threats again, I can't really take them too hard off mana. So just answering their board state seems like the best result, and I get the win. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think of the matchup. This is Tectonic Edge, signing out as soon as this video ends, because I don't remember, my timing mechanism's a little off here. But yeah, thank you for watching.